George is recognized.
Thank you so very much, Chair Brown, and thank you to all of the nominees for your commitment to serve. I'd also like to extend a special welcome to Commissioner Kristen Johnson, who hails from the great state of Georgia, where she has served as a law professor at Emory University. Congratulations, Commissioner Johnson, and congratulations to your family. As we've discussed in this committee, systemic and cultural issues have plagued the FDIC in recent years. It's clear that senior leadership of the FDIC turned a blind eye to ongoing discrimination, harassment, and abuse. And they failed to properly reprimand or terminate offenders. Simply, the FDIC failed to institute a culture of accountability, and as a result, employee morale is low, which has deep implications for the mission. Ms. Goldsmith Romero, thank you for visiting with me yesterday. I enjoyed our conversation in my office to discuss your plans for the FDIC. If you were confirmed as its next chair, I appreciated your candor. The task you face, as you well recognize, is monumental. This is tough work. The FDIC plays a critical role in ensuring the safety and the soundness of our financial system, and it needs an energized workforce in order to do that. What experience do you have changing organizational cultures, and how do you plan to draw on that experience at the FDIC?
Thank you, Senator. I very much enjoyed our conversation in your office and talking through these are tough issues. So I came into SIGTARP, and it was primarily a law enforcement office. It was male dominated. It was special agents who I have a great regard for, and because they put their lives on the line. But I would say sometimes the level of professionalism, the language, and all of that was not at the level that I thought was appropriate, particularly for an IG's office. And so one of the things I came in and did was sort of raise very high this level of respect and this level of professionalism, this level of dignity by which we would treat each other, but also how we would refer to those we were investigating and anyone that we were coming in contact with. And so that organizational change and being able to do that and bring people along with that, so they didn't fight me on it, but that they actually embraced it and moved in that direction, I think I would bring to the FDIC.
Yeah. And as you expressed yesterday and expressed today, it seemed it was just part of the culture, and people, this is just how it is.
Yeah, I think cultures can change, and I think you start with the tone at the top and what's acceptable, and you send clear messages as to what's acceptable and what's not.
The Cleary report made 7 recommendations for the FDIC, ranging from protecting victims, improving policies, and holding leadership accountable for inaction. When Chair Grunberg came in front of the Banking Committee in May, he agreed to provide a written update and briefing to my subcommittee on the status of these recommendations. Ms. Goldsmith Romero, what is your sense of where the FDIC is in implementing these recommendations?
Senator, it's hard for me to see on the outside, although I read some of the things that are happening on the website, but I'm very committed to being transparent with you and communicating with you as part of your chair of the subcommittee.
Well, yeah, I made it clear to him in no uncertain terms that as chair of consumer protection and financial institutions, I would hold him accountable and would hold anyone in that position accountable for cultural and structural changes needed. And I look forward to supporting your nomination and holding you accountable to turning the FDIC around. Certainly, you bring the kind of experience that we need at just this particular moment. Since I've got a little bit more time, a common theme in the postmortems of the bank failures last spring was that there was a brain drain at the FDIC that led to a lack of seasoned and competent bank examiners, which helped prevent issues from being caught early. At the time, this was attributed to low pay and difficult working conditions. We now know that the FDIC failed to protect junior employees, particularly women and people of color, from harassment and retaliation, and failed to punish the wrongdoers. How will you ensure examiners feel empowered while also working to recruit, to retain, and support examiners, specifically examiners who are women and people of color.
Thank you for that, Senator. So first, we gotta make sure that they feel safe. We gotta make sure there's a good process that they trust, that they can raise these complaints, and then we have to empower examiners in other ways that allow them to be nimble, that allow them to use their judgment and their expertise and experience. And I do want to be able to recruit to deal with this issue of the workforce and the, how long some of them been, and we need to bring more in.
Thank you so much. I think all of this underscores the ways in which these issues that we're raising around the culture, around accountability, abuse, harassment, that these aren't extraneous to the mission. They are central to the ability of FDIC to carry out its mission for employee morale, for folks to remain focused on the work that we require them to do, need them to do in order to protect our financial system. So thank you again for offering yourselves up for service, and I look forward to supporting your nomination.
Thank you, Senator Warnock.